They're all in a panic because of the dramatic cost of fertilizer and potash fertilizer, whatever you want to call that stuff. I don't see what the big deal is because within the Amexem-Moor-Empire we don't use it anyway. Composting is the way to go, and folks have to figure out how to get back to doing composting. I don't trust fertilizers. Um, how they are produced is an environmental issue. What impact do they have on the health of folks that consume anything that was grown with fertilizer is a concern. Composting is the better way to go. So it's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned regarding that aspect. The only thing about the fertilizer scenario that is of concern as far as I can tell is it increases the cost of a wide variety of things that does impact folks uh, by way of inflation. And that inflation causes folks to have less funds to take care of themselves with. And that means folks have less ability to have any discretion in how they're going to engage in certain things. In other words, they have no discretionary funds to spend. They only have funds to save if they can, or keep their heads above water. That's not a good way to be. Folks shouldn't be having to get up every day for the rest of their lives to quote unquote pay bills. So inflation basically robs them of the ability to escape that particular point of their life. So when folks begin to wake up to what's really been happening to them, they're going to be very angry. They are contracted into what they contracted into, and there are consequences to that. Some are going to be looking to get out from under that particular contractual scenario and don't know how. They don't know how to engage in the acquisition of proper standing. Without standing, they can't even begin to have an intelligent conversation. And so their status quo remains as it is. They're contracted in. They do Rem And Res-Detrimental things to stay contracted in. They don't know how. They don't know what to do about it. And they suffer the consequences. And then they have those that prey upon them who basically will tell them a piece of some information that they don't really comprehend. So a few Earth years back, you had this thing where amongst Akith and Kendra in North-Amexem, parties were talking about quote-unquote being a sovereign citizen. The oxymoron of all oxymorons. Then you had all these folks that were pushing all these sovereignty packages and stuff like this, because folks think that it's a thing called individual sovereignty. Where that mental retardation comes from, I have no idea. And then you have folks that speak to the issue of quote-unquote taxes is theft. I understand what they're talking about on the form. On the substance, not so much. Ask them the same question I would ask them. All right, taxes are theft. How do you propose to maintain the sewage, sanitation, the ports, the snow removal, hazmat, and things of this nature collectively? How do you pay for it? How do you maintain pavement and the construction thereof or the repavement thereof? How do you maintain making sure you have food safety and health safety? How does it get funded? Again, parties don't think beyond 20 minutes. And it shows. And this is no knock on the fact that Akith and Kendra are basically the blind being led by the blind. Not knocking them, they're innocent in all this to a degree. What I am upset about is those who are preying upon them, who have them so jaded that you cannot reach them with logic and reason. They're that far gone. So the best we can do is just live who we say we are and be the example. They either catch up or they don't. We'll tell them. I would say tell them once and then leave it lie. You cannot impose your will upon them, folks. It's not cool to do that. Show them the way and then back up and leave them alone. If it does not resonate in their spirit, that's between them and their spirit. We're not part of that equation.